Hello, my name is V Trang and I pronounce as she's her. Today I will present to you my research about the wakashu in Japan history. To me, when speaking about wakashu, it is a new term for me and I realize this term is not very recognizable to many people when we talk about a queer topic. Turn out, Wakashu has its own history and still have a certain influence to gender fluid in nowadays society. So let's talk more about the Wakashu. Wakashu is a term used in the context of traditional Japanese culture and history to refer to young male youth or adolescents. It has historical and cultural significance, especially in the context of Japan's Edo period, 17th to 19th century. Wakashu were identified primarily through their clothes and hairstyles. They wore the hair in a top knot with a small shaved portion at the crown of the head and long forelocks at the sides, as opposed to adult men who shaved the entire crown of their heads. Wakashu clothes were similar to those worn by a married young woman, colorful kimonos with long flowing sleeves. The wakashu are sometimes called traditional Japan third gender. During the adolescence, when the wakashu was sexually mature enough but free from adult responsibilities, it was socially acceptable for them to be enjoyed as sex partners by both women and men. Considered to be at the height of their beauty, these young men play an important role in the sexual and social practice of the Edo period and enlighten us today about the gender fluidity present in traditional Japan. Wakashu usually ran between 7 to early 20s in age. However, youth in Edo Japan must be understood as a more fluid term, one that is not connected solely to biological age. Often the family or the young boy himself could decide on the beginning and end of the wakashu phase. Practically every Japanese male went through a wakashu stage, would end it with a coming of age ceremony called genpyuku, denoted by changes in clothing and hairstyle. After this ceremony, they would take up their roles as men in society. However, some chose to delay the coming of age ceremony beyond their 20s or to remain a wakashu for long parts of their lives. Much of our knowledge of the wakashu comes from the traditional wood block prints that were common to the age. In these prints, we see a variety of sexual practice: men or women together with the adults in wakashu, male prostitution, men cross-dressing as women, and men impersonating women on the kabuki stage. The wakashu are shown to be beautiful and desirable, sometimes playing a feminine role in that they are practicing the traditional feminine arts, such as flowering, arranging, or playing of certain musical instruments. The prints would range from simple scenes of everyday life to more explicit erotica, reveal a society where gender identity is not necessarily fixed, and where sexual experimentation is socially acceptable within a certain and defined boundaries. By the second half of the 19th century, wakashu had effectively disappeared. Beginning in 1635, Japan had followed a strict seclusion policy known as sakoku. For 2 centuries, the country had been almost totally isolated from the world. and so a distinctive Japanese culture with its own moral and sexual code developed and thrived. This seclusion ended in 1854 when the flagships of the U.S. Commodore Matthew Perry arrived in Edo Bay to negotiate treaties that would result in the opening of the country to Western trade and influences. By the 1860s, Japan had adapted to a new political reality and was eagerly importing the technology, fashions, and cultural practices of the Christian West. With this upheaval, the Wakushu disappeared, replaced by a less open, more rigid system of sexual behavior. Same-sex relations were banned in the new modern Japan. Thank you for listening.